Was it really intentional that the film ended with a question mark? And number two, um, my other friend of same surname, Jet Tolentino, told me that unfortunately this will not come out here in our country on a commercial release. Now, the timing of this film is very now, as in apropos to how the LGBTQIA are now responding to issues pertinent to migration and color and whatever. Uh, Maybe I can propose tonight that for each and everyone who are here to maybe later take a photo of Isabel and post it on social media so that you can also, as a Filipino, be proud that you did go and see this private screening and maybe have themselves time to catch up for tomorrow, because I feel bad that this will not get to spread a little much to a bigger and a wider audience here in our country. Unfortunately, being close to Jet, I myself have to juggle with my schedules to run after Lingua until, given that that thought 3, 4 nights ago, and then I said, when will this ever come to Manila? Only to find out the following morning it's posted on social media, and probably there's not much time for us to create much more buzz. That's why I have to bring it out of my chest tonight, because I think, Isabel, I must have to congratulate you 10 times over for being able to produce this film. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I hope it doesn't sound so tragic. I mean, I don't think it was said that we're never gonna have a commercial release. I think we just don't have concrete plans yet, and I think what's different now than when I made a version is that I think since then there have been quite a few, is it micro cinemas is how you call them here, that have, surfaced, and we'd be more than happy to distribute the film here on a platform release, and hopefully make it find its audience, although it's not the easiest crowd pleaser, or not a comedy that a lot of movies with trans characters tend to be released in our country. But thank you so much. I mean, it is really quite amazing that I'm able to bring this film here and show it to you guys.
Hi, if I may add, I was brought on the spotlight. I said that I'm just trying to manage expectation, because I personally do not promise people things that I can't deliver. So if I brag about, oh, we're gonna be all over the Philippines, I'm not in a position to say that. It's a wishful thinking. I hope there's some distributors out here, So it's up to you guys to whether. I'm just trying to be, again, sensible on what the Philippine market is. So we're not the typical star cinema film, as you can see. We're very specific and niche at some point. And with the recent crimes against trans women, recently was murdered somewhere in Pangasinan or Bulacan. It was horrifying, and we were fearful for whatever that would come out against our film. So to manage that expectation, that's why I said it. But it's actually a cry out probably for whoever, because there's no question we're making a big hit in Europe, and we're making our US premiere at a Chinese theater in LA, November 17 and 19. Who has friends and family in LA,
AFI Fest.
AFI Fest. So we don't have any. We're quite okay there. But of course, it'll be great if we could make a splash here at our homeland. But we can only do so much.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm very happy to share that we do have French distribution, and it's coming out in theaters in France in February or March, and even before the film world premiered in Venice, we've been having conversation with a reputable art house distributor in the U.S. and I think how we packaged the film was also strategic in the sense that they wanted to work in the English language because that means we'd be able to reach a far broader market commercially, not just in the Philippine territory. And like Eamon Farron, who plays the male lead in the film, he was in Twin Peaks: The Return, and in December he is part of the main cast of the new Netflix fantasy adventure series called The Witcher, and he's starring opposite Henry Cavill. So we expect his stock to rise, hopefully considerably, in December, and then we're really definitely gonna push to sell that to distributors at that point. We're very fortunate to be working with a prestigious European sales agent called Luxbox that acquires titles from Cannes, Venice, and Berlin. And yeah, so I am very happy with how the film is doing so far, and very grateful that it's, for my third feature, it's the most traveled film that I have had so far festival-wise. I mean, after this, we're going to Poland, Thessaloniki, Stockholm, Hawaii, Five Fest, and India, but I'm not going to that one yet, well, because in December, I was also accepted to this prestigious artist residency in the US, and I'm going to be writing my next screenplay all in December.
Wow. We have a question.
Good evening, congratulations, Isabel. Your film is very impressive, and I'm even more impressed hearing you speak now with authority. You're very articulate. I wish to know if you went to film school. You did?
I did not.
Wow, that's very impressive. And I like your acting. Actually, it was superb. And I like the way you played with lights and the camera in the romantic shots. But I also noticed a preference for descending stairs. I think you had 4 scenes where you were coming downstairs. What were you actually expressing each time that you were coming downstairs?
This is what I always say in Q&As when I'm asked. The interpretation of certain things is, I'm gonna leave it to you to interpret that, because I feel like, it's interesting. Art is, one object, but how we respond to it is so unique and different and depends on our backgrounds and our histories. And I think, and this is I'm gonna kind of segue this into my philosophy in making art and filmmaking, is I feel that what I learned so far in the 3 films that I made is that, how effective or how moving the films that you make are ultimately depends on the complexity of the emotions that you're allowing your audience to feel, at the end of it. I was reading this novel, as a book by Jane Smiley, the Pulitzer Prize winning author, called How to Write a Novel, and she was writing that, when you're reading a novel, what you remember are not words or sentences, but emotions attached to images that are evoked by the words that are printed on the page. And in the same way, I think why why this film resonates with certain people is because of the things that it doesn't say, and that it allows audience members to engage with intellectually and emotionally. I don't make films. I'd like to think that I don't make films that feel overdetermined, where I feel like I'm, spoon feeding people about how to feel, but that I'm giving them space, to really think through what the characters, want and desire or thinking, on an emotional, intellectual level. And those are the kinds of films that stay with you, that have stayed with me. And I didn't go to film school because I've always been a cinephile, I think, growing up. My mom exposed me to all kinds of cinema. And of course, I grew up watching, Filipino films in the 80s, but over time, I feel like my taste has become more refined and more sophisticated. And, and just living life, that's how my sensibility as filmmaker has evolved and has grown. And for you to notice the stairs, the 4 scenes of the stairs, I think, and this is, what I tell everyone, says more about you than it does about the film in an intriguing way.
Well, that's something to ponder on.
Yes.